All right. Welcome back, or not back because this is the first one, but welcome to my podcast. I don't have a name yet or an idea of what it's going to be like, but, I know how to talk. I know how to think. So that's about all you need for a podcast nowadays. So I'm going to give it a shot. As for topics, I have some notes, but I think I'm going to start with 9/11, and then I'm going to shift through various topics. We'll probably get to the Armenian genocide around minute 10 if you wanted to skip to that. And yeah, we might hit music, we might hit baseball, we might hit new words. Then yeah, I'll finish up with some life updates and some shout outs. So that's the plan for today. So yeah, might as well just dive in. What was the first topic? Oh yes, the terrorist attack. Pretty cool. Well, not cool. Not cool at all, actually. Very uncool. Probably one of the bad things to happen. I think if I had to rank all the things that have happened, 9/11 would be on the bad side, like a not good thing that happened. That being said, it has undoubtedly had huge impact on society, and especially American society, but world society, because America's pretty important nowadays. And yeah, I mean, no, if 9/11 didn't happen, things would be a lot different. TSA agents probably wouldn't be groping you. What else? There would be more New Yorkers, more Yankees fans. So I guess a silver lining of it all. That's probably not a good thing to say. I love my New Yorkers. Shout out New York. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The real impact is sort of obviously the wars that it started, and the general extreme Islamophobia that has become a rampant part of American society, and then just the overall, I think, cloud of fear is one that doesn't really get talked about too much. But I read somewhere, it was probably on the internet, that in the late 90s there was a general hope, especially in America, that the world was sort of being figured out, and that the AIDS epidemic was on the decline. There was general peace, at least in the parts of the world that people cared about, not Africa, but the parts of the world that people cared about. And yeah, there was a general feeling of, hey, maybe we figured out this whole humanity thing. Obviously, there was like Waco and the OKC bombing, so it's definitely some bad things happening. But overall, the economy was good. People just felt better. People felt good about where the world was going. And then 9/11 happened, and I think it really changed how people felt about the world. People didn't like other people and that's gotten worse with the rise of social media and the hyperpolarization of the political scene. It's really changed the way that us as human beings look at the world. So it's I think it's the most important singular event of the 21st century by far. The pandemic was obviously very impactful, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a singular event. In terms of a singular day, if you were to choose a day, I think it's 9/11 by a long shot in the 21st century. So, it's obviously an extremely tragic event, and it's very extremely sad. But the impact it's had in terms of like what it's caused, I think, is even bigger than what actually happened. In terms of obviously, governments were toppled, countries torn apart, and I think it's put us on a path to where there's a lot of animosity, I think, still between people, and you can really trace a lot of it back to 9/11, especially in the U.S. So those are my quick thoughts on 9/11. Yeah, I obviously wasn't alive for it, so I don't know what the climate was like personally, but this is based off probably what a comment I read on an online forum, so those are always true. Yeah, so hard left. I'm going to go into music now. I'm listening to a lot of Chappell Roan lately. Quick warning, I am at work right now. I am on a Zoom call, and I'm getting messages. So I'm going to dive into a quick ad break, and I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Do you ever take a shit and then wipe and the shit gets all over your hand? No? Well, you can skip this ad. But if you do, check out our new shitting hand. It's a plastic hand that you can shit in so that when you wipe, you can shit in and then you can also use it to wipe. So when you wipe the first time, and they say it gets all over your hand, it actually isn't your hand, it's the shitting hand. Right now, our model, it comes with a person, so it's actually just a guy. His name's Mark. His name's Ted. His legal name's Mark, but he goes by Ted. He just shows up at your house. He's like, "Hey, Ted, just drop the deuce. Work your magic." And Ted, he's really nice. He smells pretty good most days. He brushes his teeth most days. And yeah, he'll get you right. So, just text me. I can reach out to Ted, and you just give him your address, if you have a code to your house, just give it to Ted, or just give him your key or something like that, and he can show up whenever you need him to. Taking a shit, it's a doozy. You need Ted, give him a text, he'll show up. Don't need to let him in because he'll have your key, and yeah, he'll wipe your ass for you. So, the shitting hand. And we're back. Where were we? We were talking about Chappell Roan. We had just wrapped up the 9/11 discussion. A lot of Chappell Roan lately. She's really good. She has it, whatever it is. Her music is just objectively very good, very catchy. Her voice is very powerful. She reminds me a ton of Lady Gaga. Reminds me a good amount of Taylor Swift. Reminds me a good amount of Katy Perry. She takes bits and pieces, I think, of some of the biggest pop names in the past, 15 years, and puts them together in a way that's unique, catchy, powerful. I don't think she's really. It's not she's not saying anything absurdly profound in terms of society, but she's speaking truthfully from her life experience, and it's really good. And it's so catchy, it's unbelievable. This is some of the best pop music I've ever heard, especially in 2024, where good pop music is so rare. Highly recommend. Pink Pony Club was what put me on Chappell Roan. I put Caleb Atkins on. Caleb Atkins, who, if you don't know him, he's a gay person. I put him on Chappell Roan, and he's a gay person who likes music. So I put a gay person who likes music on one of the forefront of an LGBT pop artist. So, you're welcome. I'll take payment through Venmo or Cash App. Other musicians that I've been listening to recently, Big Sean's entered my musical taste. I think kind of more as a experiment, because I had a thought where I was kind of who listens to Big Sean nowadays, or really ever? Who was ever oh, I'm a big Sean guy, he really tickles my fancy. That always kind of always made me a little curious. So I am the guy who puts on Big Sean when I get the aux. Marvin and Chardonnay, that song is so good. Kanye West puts on one of his best performances, dynamic, so many quotable lines. Roscoe Dash, that guy cannot miss. He's also another very underrated artist. Ass, the song named Ass, it's A followed by $2 signs. That one is also a banger. The remix, especially with Nicki Minaj, classic Nicki Minaj verse, early on in her career. She's energetic as always. And Big Sean, it's the word ass probably 100 sometimes on that song, but it hits. It hits. We should hear it in the club more often. If you're a DJ listening to this, play ass remix more often because it deserves it. Same with Marvin and Chardonnay. But yeah, Big Sean, interesting character, I think, in modern pop culture. He's not big. He's like 5'7" or something like that. I'm not even sure his name's Sean, actually. That's now in question. But he dated Ariana Grande, which I think is hilarious. Like she had some of the wildest, she has the wildest like track record where it's like, it's not bad, but it's just kind of confusing. Like Mac Miller makes a lot of sense, he seems like obviously a really cool guy, good rapper, but then to take a bit of a right into Big Sean, like pop rapper, kind of not really doesn't say profound things in his songs, kind of a womanizer. Interesting. And then to go to the dancer she dated for a little while that I thought was gay. Also very interesting. Definitely a big turn from Big Sean, who's not really gay at all. And then to turn to Pete Davidson, which is like a completely different realm of pop culture. Like this guy's on SNL and you're going to like post Big Sean and dancer. You're going to go to Pete Davidson, who looks like, his eyes look like buttholes and he makes jokes about his dead dad. Like it's just a completely different realm. And now she's dating a guy who plays SpongeBob in a musical, who broke up with his pregnant girlfriend. And what are we doing out here? That makes no sense. Really interesting track record for her. I've lost the plot. I was talking about Big Sean. Give Marvin and Chardonnay an ass remix, and my last one with Chris Brown, give those another spin, because those are all certified classics. By the way, I think I skipped over this. Chappell Roan, the album is The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, I think. That is one of the best albums I've ever heard. Highly recommend. You must listen to it. It's a requirement. All right, third artist I was going to talk about was Kid Laroi. He's interesting. Dane Tate McRae. Really just had one song to talk about. It's a song called Girls. It's his new single. Had a couple viral clips that went big on TikTok, as these artists do. But it's one of the ones that doesn't say anything. It's the song says absolutely nothing. It's like the same 4 lyrics over and over again. But it's so catchy. It's so catchy that I just can't stop listening to it. Music video is very good too. It's a bunch of like social media women, but empowerment and all. Good for him. He seems to have found his market. And I remember I was listening to him for a while, back when he was like 16 from Australia or whatever, and he's doing really well for himself, Dane Tate McRae, which is great for him. I mean, I think he had used to have like really bad teeth, I think, but he's gotten that all figured out, and now he, good for him. Good for him. Gives a lot of scrawny white guys hope, I think. But yeah, you have to be able to sing, so that's a bit of a prereq. All right, that's about all I had. Music recommendations. I just tossed out. Childish Gambino, new album, pretty good. What else have I been listening to? That's about it, actually. So yeah, I'll move on. Baseball is my next topic. I'll try and make this as like broad appealing as I can with like analogies. But if you really don't give a hoot about baseball, then you can skip to whatever. Like probably be like 5 minutes. I'll talk about baseball for. So I'll start with the Red Sox. You know what? I'm going to take another ad break, and I'll get you back in a couple minutes. Stay safe. Are you ever driving and you see a biker and they're like swerving into your lane and you're like, what are you doing? Please stop doing that. And then, you want to kind of give them like a love tap just to let them know, hey, you're in my lane. You're a bike. You should stay in your lane. But the love tap goes, maybe a little too hard, and next thing you know, he's dead, or he or she is dead. We're the guys you call. We will dispose of the person, we'll dispose of the bike, we'll threaten their family so that they'll never press charges. They'll be scared for their lives. They'll probably have to go to witness protection. And yeah, we'll make that biker's family's life a personal hell so that you can go on with your life after committing vehicular homicide. So yeah, if you ever hit a biker and they were being annoying, maybe they had their lights were flashing too bright and you were like, hey man, That kind of hurts my eyes. And you give him a little love tap, and they kick it. Call us up. We'll take care of it. And yeah, call us up. We're open 24/7, so whenever you need, yeah, call us up. All right, and we are back. Where was I? Baseball. Once again, if you want to skip this part, no hard feelings, but I don't like you all that much. So the Red Sox, bad series, been a really brutal stretch since the All-Star break. If you haven't been paying attention to baseball, the Red Sox are overperforming as a team. We're young, we're fun, but what comes with being young and fun is that you also suck once in a while, and we're in that suck part right now, and it really sucks because we suck. Just lost series to the Yankees, which is hard because we should have won the second game. Tough game last night, didn't watch it, but Houck got shelled, which is always a bad thing. So Tanner Houck's our ace. He got hit hard, not good. But we're still 4.5 back from the Yankees. I think we've still within striking distance of the wild card. So, we'll rally. I'm confident. Trade deadline. I don't think we're gonna do all that much. There's no one that really is being. There's no one that's the Sox should go get this guy. We kind of just making small moves, but I have faith in Craig Breslow. I think the trade deadline's overrated anyway. I think most buyers at the trade deadline always get a guy that's either A, disappointing, or B, an overpay. So it's like when we traded away Christian Vasquez and got back Wilyer Abreu at the deadline, that was a great trade for us, and the Astros way overpaid. They won the World Series that year, so it made sense for them, but we got a great return out of it. Kind of a rental for a okay catcher. I'm looking at the standings right now. The next one team I had was my Royals. Shout out my Royals. My Royals are doing well. My Royals are a game above the Red Sox. I think they had the last wild card spot. Unless the Mariners have it. No, I think the Mariners have it. Oh, no. My Royals have it, and then it's the Mariners, and then it's the Sox. So, Red Sox are, we're fighting for it. My Royals, but Bobby Witt Jr. is the best player ever. I think he's probably my age. That hurts. Who is my age is Paul Skeens, my last talking point of today. He is unbelievable. I mean, it's obviously he's dating Livy Dunn, so that's why he gets a lot of attention. But people who don't watch baseball should realize that not only is he dating, a social media star, he's probably the best pitcher we've seen be this good, this young, ever. Yeah, probably ever. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who is better as a rookie than Paul Skeens is right now. This guy might be the GOAT, and he's dating Livy Dunn, which is kind of crazy. Really boring human being. His interviews suck. He won't be the face of the league, unfortunately. Tough for baseball, I'm sure. MLB's psyched that their new hotshot rookie is just an absolute wet blanket on the mic. But, he'll be a superstar. He'll make $1 bazillion. He throws 103, no issue. No effort. He's 22 days younger than me. I hate that. Oh, man, I hate that. How tall is he? He's got to be 6'6". Oh, no. Sorry, I'm just going to make myself feel even worse. Oh, tall as Paul Skeens. He's 6'6". Yep. How much does he weigh? Oh, 235. Wow, that's 1.5 me's. That's a lot of weight. Paul Skeens he's really good. He seems like a good guy. He won the Natty at LSU. He's the first overall pick. He's an all-star starter. He dates Livy Dunn, who's very attractive. I hope something about his life just sucks. I hope he just has a really bad rash on the back of his neck that just can never, or maybe his car is it wobbles and it's he cannot figure out. He keeps bringing it to the mechanic, and the mechanic's it's fine, and he drives it home and it wobbles, and it just drives him nuts. That's what I hope about Paul Skeens, because he has it too good. Some people get all the luck. He's 6'6", 235. That's like two human beings. It's not one human being. Did Paul Skeens eat a smaller human being like a couple years ago? How is he so big? All right. Yeah, so Paul Skeens, he's really good. He's really good at... People forget, this is pretty niche baseball stuff, but Dylan Cruz was like the college baseball GOAT for like 2 years. Not 2 years, but like a year and a half. Everyone was like, Dylan Cruz is the guy, and he was on LSU. And Dylan Cruz is still really good. He'll be really good in MLB. But Paul Skeens comes in from Air Force. He was an Air Force transfer. He came to LSU, and he just like, no one cared about Dylan Cruz anymore. It was all about Paul Skeens. This guy throws 103. For those who don't know, 103 is like disgustingly fast. And if you're a starting pitcher, if you throw 103, you're the GOAT, and that's Paul Skeens. Dylan Cruz became kind of an afterthought, and like Dylan Cruz put up like, he batted like 440 with like a 1.4 OPS, something like that, something crazy like that, his senior year, and no one cared because Paul Skeens was throwing 103, which, you know, Dylan Cruz was the second overall pick to the Nats, and no one cares because Paul Skeens was the first overall pick. It's just like Dylan Cruz's girlfriend is probably very attractive, but she's not Livy Dunn. Just kind of crazy that he just dwarfed his teammate like that. After his teammate was like heralded as like the next great college baseball player. So yeah, no, it hurts. It hurts as a normal human being to see these superstars succeed, because you know, you're like, it should have been me. Oh God. Quick life update. This isn't my life update section of the podcast, but I'm on a Zoom call right now because it's like an online class I'm helping TA for. And these people, man, they have no tech literacy. It's almost unbelievable. Like, I get it, you're 30, but like, you don't have to join the Zoom call with your phone, your laptop, your brother's phone, your brother's laptop, your cousin's like iPad. Like, just join it with someone raised their hand. Why are you raising your hand? It's Excel. We're learning how to select things in Excel. Why are you raising your hand? What question could you possibly have? All right. Done the life update. Moving on to new words, or new phrases, actually. New words was incorrect. Misnomer. So this segment I'm stealing from Friday Beers. It's Rusty and Will. They do this thing where they just make up phrases. I think it's hilarious. I think it's really creative. I think it's right up my alley. So I'm gonna steal it. They make up idioms like old Southern sayings, but they just make them up and they just explain what they mean. I have a few. They're okay. These are okay. I could have spent more time thinking of better ones, but I'm gonna start. This first one's golf related because I was playing golf and I made it up. Let's not snap our 7 because we're 8 deep on 9. This one means like, hey, let's not like freak out or like go nuts because we're obviously not in our best mind right now. The saying is, let's not snap our 7 iron, which is what 7 is, because we're 8 deep, as in 8 beers deep on 9, which is like the whole 9. So basically saying, hey, we're drunk. You hit that ball in the woods because you're drunk, not because you're a bad golfer. Don't snap your iron because you did that. Could be used in a context where it's like you're beating yourself up even though you were just like really tired when you made the mistake. Like, let's not snap our 7 because we're 8 deep on 9. Come on. I like it. Go 7, 8, 9. A little bit of a mouthful, but I could work with that. These next two are both sports related. This is the first one. Let's not pitch to Bonds with first open. This is about Barry Bonds. He was an extremely, extremely good baseball player from the turn of the century, where he would just hit 80 home runs a year or 75 or something like that. And like, if he's coming up, you're better off just walking the guy than really pitching to him because he's probably going to hit a home run. So if first base is open, which means like, what that means in baseball is if first base is open, you walk Barry Bonds, no one's going to like move up, like essentially. So like the only thing that will happen is that Barry Bonds will go to first base and he'll no longer be hitting. Like nothing else will really change. You'll pitch the next guy who's not Barry Bonds. So like, essentially what that means is that like, hey, we can settle for like the not ideal scenario, but like it's still better than the worst case scenario that's fairly likely in this scenario. In this hypothetical, like say, I'm trying to think of a good example. Say you're about to send like a risky text to invite a girl you barely know to like your beach week or something like that. Like that could go really poorly because then she'd be like, this guy's weird. But say it's a girl you like. Or you can bring your friend who like, you have a good time, but it's not like you wouldn't like change your life or anything. You should probably invite the friend because, let's not pitch to bombs with first open. This could go really bad, and let's take the safer route, even if it's not as good. So that would be the scenario where you use that. Third one is every town needs a Chris Paul. This is a kind of tough one because it requires knowledge about Chris Paul's life. Chris Paul's type of person where like he's a really good basketball player, and everyone recognizes that Chris Paul is a really good basketball player. But he is so easy to make fun of because A, he's kind of short, B, he's kind of like annoying, and C, he's never like won anything. He's never won like a ring. And there's that meme where it's like Chris Paul hits the huge lead to cut, it's the huge three to cut the lead to 42, which has gotten memed into oblivion. So he's easily make funnable, even though everyone recognizes that Chris Paul is like a very, very good player. So every town needs a Chris Paul. I might change this to every league needs a Chris Paul because that makes more sense within the context of the NBA. But what that means is that every group of people needs a guy that you understand is like either smart or just like cool or just like whatever, but you can just make fun of him. Examples of this in my life I know are the Roach. Roach is great. I love Roach. Love you, Roach. He probably won't listen to this. But we make fun of him incessantly sometimes because he's just like the Roach. But he takes it well. All full respect. Same with like Declan. I make fun of Declan a lot. But he takes it well. And he's and everyone likes Declan. Like he's fine. But you make fun of him a lot. So they're both kind of like Chris Paul figures of our lives, or my life at least. So yeah, and every group needs one because you need a guy who is, definitely in the group, but you can make fun of him because he does dumb stuff, or he or she, sorry, or they. Oh, it's 2024. So yeah, that was that one. The last one, is even Waco had Wi-Fi. I wrote this down this morning when I was in prime form, and I forget exactly what I was going for. I think what it means is that so Waco is obviously that Branch Davidians, they lived by themselves and didn't interact with the world all that much, but I think it's also kind of a joke because they didn't have Wi-Fi because it was in the 90s and they didn't have Wi-Fi. But the idea of this one is that hey, even the remote people still have some semblance of life. So it's hey, I'm trying to think of an example to use this. You see, you know what? I'll come back to this because I was in prime form. I was at the range. It was like 9 a.m. and I thought this up. And I think I thought it was really good, and now I'm reconsidering. So we'll come back to this, but yeah, even Waco had Wi-Fi. I don't really know what I was going for there. Okay, all right. Life update. That's next on the docket. I'm at work right now. I think it's going well. I kind of I'm muted. My screen's off. I have the volume very low, but he's literally just teaching you how to average something on Excel, which some people don't know. I know. Don't mean to call anyone out, but Elizabeth Muller, she used to do this thing where she would be on Excel for a class and then have her phone calculator out and be adding things on her phone calculator and then typing that into Excel. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How old are you? 70? There's this really cool thing called the sum function on Excel. And get this, they have this thing called the average function. They're really useful. My grandma knows how to use those functions. Please learn basic Excel literacy. That's 90% of jobs nowadays is basic Excel literacy. So really useful skill. If you're ever playing out your phone on Excel, put it back. Stop and think. Do a quick Google search if you need help. But let's all be adults here. We're all smart people. Most of us are college graduates. Let's be smart about this. Where was I? I completely lost the plot there. Oh, life updates. I'm moving in with my sister probably tomorrow. She lives in Cambridge. I'm currently based in Arlington, my parents' house. So that'll be fun. I'll get out of the house. I'll stop yapping away at my parents and making them run away from me, which is a new thing I've been dealing with. Is like my parents like they just like run away from me because like I think they're scared how much I talk. Like that's such a new thing to me. Usually it was the opposite when I was a kid, but now it's like my mom's like, I'm gonna go on a run. And I'm like, what? I think she was just that desperate to get away from me because I was talking about probably something really boring. Or that she just didn't care about. So it'll be good for them to get away from me. It'll be good for me to get some independence before I start work. But yeah, that'll happen soon. So I gotta move my clothes. All my t-shirts have to go. So that'll be, I might have to rent out a U-Haul for all my t-shirts. Life updates. I bought some tank tops, like white beater sort of shirts. I have a really bad farmer's tan. I'm trying to combat that. I don't think it's that bad of a look to wear that. Like, I don't know. Drop your opinion. Just send your opinion to me because I need to think about this. I'm trying out a backwards hat, which I like kind of hate, but also kind of like. I don't know. Send your opinion on that too, because I need assistance there. Perm's in the works. Next time I get a haircut, I'll ask my barber about it, and then we'll go from there. But I'd say it's like an 85% chance I get a perm right now because, why not? Why not? Alexander the Great lived till 33 and probably never got a perm. I'm trying to make a saying out of that on the fly, actually. What's a good one? What is it like? Something like about JFK. JFK probably wished he went to church less after he got shot. No, that's a bad one. All right, you know what? See, these things aren't easy to come up with on the spot. So, TikTok update. What was that? Been watching a lot of Big Justice and AJ. If people watch that, you know what I'm talking about. It's the Italian kid who goes like boom, doom. I think it's hilarious. They have like a record label, which is kind of crazy. And this kid named the Rizzler. Oh my god, I love the Rizzler. He's like this like short, chubby Italian kid from like New Jersey who like he sounds like he's on like straight out of Goodfellas. Like he's so Italian and he's so funny. And his dad's hilarious. And it even feels wholesome. Like I just love the kid. He's like 6. Josh Block, I think, is in a really bad state. World of T-shirts, if you don't know Josh Block. He's been doing really rough, I think. He was, my boss is hopping on this Zoom call. All right, I'm going to turn my camera on. Quick advert, and I'll be back. Take care. Were you just caught doing weird stuff in the Chick-fil-A freezer? We're the spin guys. We can spin anything so that it looks like you're actually on the good side. For example, in this Chick-fil-A freezer example, we would be like, I don't know. Stop it. Something like that. And then everyone would drop it because that's what people do when you give them a non-answer to a simple question. So, yeah, call us up. Hey, how's it going? I'm back. I just turned my camera off, even though my boss is on the call, because her camera's off too. So, I think I'm in the clear there. So, I was on TikTok. I was on Josh Block. He is in a really rough state. I think I saw a video of him like lying in the street. So prayers for him. It's getting quickly to the point where it's just kind of sad. Where it's like, hey, this kid might die any day. We don't know. So he's hanging out with some like weird looking streamer who I think is taking advantage of him, as most do, which sucks. But it is what it is. We can't really do anything about it. I can see something like this happening to people I know, like Declan. So, reach out to Declan, say hi, how you doing? You still waking up before noon? Ask him if, He's staying sober most nights. Ask him why he keeps lying about his golf scores. Ask him stuff like that because, it's always good to check in. All right, that's about all I had on TikTok. I had a whole thing about Brooke Schofield and Tana Mongeau and Cody Ko. I'm not going to get into it. It is what it is. You can have your opinion on that. Oh, but no, I will talk about this. The OnlyPans girl, Susie. Yeah, she's lost viewership, I assume, because she was really cool and everyone loved her cooking videos. But at the end of the day, you can only make so many things. So I think she kind of lost her spark or her clout almost. And now she's just like in the past week, she's posted bikini pictures 7 times, and she's getting engagement again, and that's great for her. And I respect the hustle. I will never hate on chasing a bag. It's just kind of funny because I remember this girl cooking and everyone's like, oh, this is so cool. And now it's the comments are bazunga, or whatever you say. Whatever horny 14-year-olds say when they're on Instagram. So yeah, update on her life. Good for her. So this podcast, I think I'm wrapping up pretty soon. It's been about 20 minutes. Oh, no, more. About half an hour. So, yeah, they'll probably mostly be around this length. Co-host is a hard maybe. Murph threw his hat in the ring. Yeah, he threw his hat in the ring. I did a poll about it. Mixed reviews. So he's a maybe, but he claims to have a lot of work this week, which, we know it's not true. So he was not able to make it tonight. But, yeah, besides that, other co-host ideas. I was thinking about reaching out to the JD Vance team. I think he could be a good co-host. I was going to try and, grab someone's dog off the street. Just going to have him, bark once in a while. That was another idea. I think Jim Ryan might be kind of a cool, guest host. I'm sure he's pretty busy. But I might, have him on. Ask him some questions. Ask him, how is his running going? How is his family? Why is he a Zionist? Just stuff like that. Shout-outs is my last thing. Who am I shouting out? I didn't have a plan for this. I think I'll just freestyle this one. Shout out Charlie XCX. She's doing great for herself. Another pop icon. She's doing very well, so shout out her. Shout out this kid named Saul. Recent Arlington High graduate who I played golf with today. He was wearing how do I say this? He's wearing kind of clothes you'd expect from a guy who's a real douchebag, but he wasn't. And he's a really, really friendly kid. And he's really smacks the ball. He broke his driver, so he couldn't drive all day, but he still played pretty well. So shout out Saul. Who else am I shouting out? Shout out my sister's roommate's dad, because my sister's roommate was going to move out on Friday, so I had to wait until Friday to move in. But then apparently her dad today was you're getting out today. So this is Monday. So now I get to move in tomorrow. Shout out Mr. Steinberg, I think is his last name. Shout out him. I'm trying to think who else. Shout out, who am I thinking of? Who's someone who I think is underrated in history? Shout out Napoleon. I think he gets a bad rap, even though all he wanted to do was take over the world, which is very common. A lot of people want to do that. So, he got pretty far, and he cooked so many people in battle that it's not even funny. You know what? Good for him. And he wasn't that short. He wasn't that short. He was 5'9", which is very average. Actually, I think he's above average worldwide. So, obviously, it doesn't apply to me. I'm 5'11 and a half. But for him, I'm just defending him. He was 5'9", shorter than me, by the way, and I think he deserves a fair shake. Shout out my fellow TA Brian Lee. He's really cool, actually. He's your typical, if you'd imagine someone who spends like half their day on Discord, that's Brian. But Brian's really down to earth. He pulls out like the I don't know if anyone's this deep on the internet, but like the milady, like shit like that, like the neckbeard stuff. He has a neckbeard. Someone like that. But he's really personable. He's really good at his job. He's very smart. Like, Brian's a real one. Shout out the Holy Spirit. Shout out Barack Obama. I feel like I might shout him out every week just because, he can never go wrong shouting out Obama. Shout out Jason Tatum. He's in a tough spot right now. He's getting absolutely destroyed on the internet. This is painful to watch. And shout out those who clicked through all 149 of my stories yesterday. I apologize for that. I was very hungover throughout the day. And when I get hungover, I get into prime form. And I was in prime form for much of the day. I'm still hungover, by the way, 2 days later. Never drinking Pink Whitney again. Shout out Mark Travasos, actually. Mark Travasos, went to elementary school with him. I haven't really talked to him between elementary school and now. But he went to the event I went to, drove me home. I wasn't like incoherent, but I made him pull over on Route 3 near like Billerica, I'd say. And I just like yacked my brains out on the side of the road. And I think I got back in the car and immediately fell asleep. So Mark, as my classic, get drunk, throw up, fall asleep. Boom, boom, boom. So shout out Mark for getting me home. Great guy. And I've been talking for way too long. I should probably get back to the job that I get paid to do. So thank you all for listening. If you listened, if you didn't, fair enough. I can't live your life, but, I hate you with a burning passion. So stay safe. Go Sox. Bye-bye.